Topic 19-1, Mean, Median, Mode, and Range. Your essential question, what are the measures of central tendency of a data set? Presented by your lovely teacher, Ms. Villaseñor. What is tendency? If we look up the definition, it means that it's the way someone or something usually behaves. So based on results, like if the things repeat, we kind of say this is going to happen. So when we talk about data, when they talk about measures of central tendency, and you will see that in this unit. So the central tendency, that's when we're going to be dealing with the median and the mean and the mode, and we can't forget about, and the range. Okay, let's review. What does mode mean? In other words, it means something that occurs often, like that certain pattern repeats. And when we're talking about the median, that is what's in the middle of data, the middle of all these numbers. And then the average, the mean is like the average. When you put it all together, it makes about a certain number. And so we're going to review what each one means. Okay, going back to mean. What mean means you sum out all the data and then divide it by the number of sets. So in other words, let's say that you have these set of numbers here. We have 71, then we have 68, 67, 72, 68. And these numbers can mean anything, but let's say that they mean your grades on certain tests. And you want to know, what is the mean, like what's called the average? What am I getting? What is the score that I'm kind of getting when I put it all together? What is that score? So according to mean, what you have to do to find the mean, the definition is you're going to add all these numbers. So you're going to add 71, 68, plus 67, plus 72, plus 68. And then when you add that, we're going to get 346. Then it says that we have to divide it by how many numbers. So then we count, okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of numbers. So then we do 346 divided by 5. And when we do that, we find that it's, 69.2. So that is your mean. That means on average, I'm getting 69.2. Median, that means the number that is in the middle when you put the data set together. But what's important is that you have to know that before you could put it, just find the middle set of numbers, you have to put it in numerical order. That means from least to greatest. Some students forget about that part. But we have to put it from least to greatest. So if we look at the numbers from like the previous set, from the mean example, are these in numerical order? No, we start with 71 and then 68. So let's put that in numerical order. And so we start from least to greatest. So we're going to put 67 first. And then we're going to put 68. And then we have another 68 here. And then we're going to put 71. And then lastly 72, right? So now it's in numerical order from least to greatest. Now we could find which one is in the middle. So we're going to cross from like left to right. Okay, I cross this one out, that one. And the one that's in the middle is 68. So then my median would be 68. Again, you got to put it from least to greatest first. Your numerical order before you could choose the median number. Okay? Okay, let's say that, what happens if two numbers are in the middle? Let's say that we added the number like 70 and we end up with two numbers in the middle. Then what you do is you find the one in the middle. So between 68 and 70, then the median will then be 69. Okay, so you would find the middle number in between those two numbers. Okay, mode. This means which number value that occurs most often. So if we use the same set of numbers here that we've been using for the mean and the median, you'll see that in these set of numbers, 68 is here and 68 is there. The other numbers don't repeat. So in this case, the mode is 68. Now, keep in mind that some data has more than one mode. Okay, so if there's like two sets of numbers that repeat, you can have more than one mode. And also, there's also where you don't have a mode, where none of the numbers repeat. So keep that in mind as well. Range. Okay, that means how spread out is the data. So we want to know, are numbers pretty close in value? Is there a big gap in between some certain numbers? And the way to find that is that you're going to have to subtract the greatest value from the least value. So if I use these numbers again from our previous examples, the greatest value here is 72. And I'm going to subtract that from my smallest value, which is 67. And then when I do that, my range equals 5. And that tells me that my numbers are pretty close. You know, they're in 5. The range is pretty close. It's not very spread out. And that is it. So you should be able to do now the mean, median, mode, and range.